Welcome to our weekly program, the inside story of Chabad in America through the Mindel archives. A few weeks ago, I was I don't know, Farbrengen or a lecture of a lecturer or mashpia with Bachrim, older Bachrim, and the discussion was, can a tzaddik, a Rebbe, make a mistake? Or forget? Also, the discussion was, if the Rebbe says something it's going to happen, does he know that it's going to happen or not? That's what the lecture about. So when I heard the conversation, I mixed in and I said, Ein shikcha lifnei chiseich v'decha. Only the Eibishter cannot forget. Only the Eibishter cannot make a mistake. Even Moshe Rabbeinu, we know Moshe, when Arein Nodav Anavihu, we know what Moshe forgot. Pinchas, we know what Moshe, because he's a human being. This lecturer, he was a mashpia. He said that a Rebbe, he was saying a Rebbe cannot make a mistake, and this is what I mentioned, that ein shikcha lifnei chiseich v'decha. But then I said, I don't know who is right, who is wrong. Let's see what the Rebbe says. Let's look at the archives of the Rabbi Mindel. The Rebbe has answers. I'm sure the Rebbe has a lot of questions like that from different people. Can a Rebbe make a mistake or whatever? Or something that I heard from Rabbi Mindel? And then we'll know the answer. So I found a few letters about that, but I want to share with you one small paragraph what the Rebbe writes to somebody. Just a small paragraph. I am in receipt of your letter. Needless to say, I was very sorry to read at the beginning of your letter about your broken engagement. As for your question, how is this to be explained after having received a blessing? So on. The answer is simply enough. Since the Creator has endowed human beings with free will and choice of action, indeed, so much so that it is possible for a person to act in contravention of a divine imperative. How much more so when it is a matter of advice, and the Rebbe underlined with his pencil advice, given by a human being, and I emphasize advice, again he underlined, because it is not my way to give anything more than advice, and certainly no imperative. And of course, my judgment was based on the writing of both parties, to the extent that I readily gave my blessing. And then the Rebbe goes on more, but it has nothing to do with this answer. So, in other words, a person has free choice. The potential was there, but they didn't work at it. It could have been successful marriage or engagement if they would have worked at it, but they didn't. A bracha can only help if we make a keli. I remember Mrs. Pinson. She should have arichas yomim vishonim tevis. Her husband, Olav Hasholem, Nissen Pinson, the Rebbe sent them to Morocco, to Tunisia, I think, Morocco. So they went to Yechidus and they told the Rebbe, they said to the Rebbe, we're going to a place, how are we going to be mechanech our children? How are we going to educate our children? They were very worried. So the Rebbe said, your children are on my shoulders. But you should not rely on that. They're on my shoulders. Rabbi Pinson put a lot of work in the children, Baruch Hashem. But you can't just say a bracha. A shliach cannot say, the Rebbe gave me a bracha, and that's it. They have to work on a bracha. I remember somebody asked the Rebbe that his son should be a masmid. He should want to learn. The Rebbe said, I can give a bracha. When he learns, he should learn basmode. But if he doesn't learn, my bracha won't help. We can't rely on that. The Rebbe said the first Farbrengen is also the Legen Fegelach in Buzim. Anyway, so this is the same thing as in this engagement. Now, also the answer that somebody asked at that Farbrengen or that gathering, does the Rebbe know what's going to happen? So there is a story from the Rebbe Rashab. It's a Yeduadik story. I think we once mentioned it, that somebody wanted to go to Eretz Yisrael, I don't know, with a ship or a plane, I'm not sure. And the son asked the Rebbe for his father. So the Rebbe said he should go with, I don't know, whatever, a ship or a plane. And he didn't go with what the Rebbe said, and something happened. So the son came with tinus complaints to the Rebbe. If you would have told us that this is going to happen, I wouldn't have said I wouldn't let my father go. So the Rebbe Rashab said, Gleib mir, ich habe allein nicht gewusst, aber gesagt, darf mir folgen. Believe me, I didn't know myself. But when we say, this is like Shchina medaberes mit der Greine shel Moshe. When the Rebbe says something, does the Rebbe know it's going to happen? Probably not. But if the Rebbe says, that's called Shchina medaberes mit der Greine shel Moshe. I remember that the Prime Minister of Israel, Sharon, was by the Rebbe, and he told the Rebbe that he's going back to Israel with a plane, a certain date. So the Rebbe said to him, why that date? He was wondering, what is the Rebbe talking about? Why not? And then in the middle, the Rebbe said again, excuse me, why that date? Anyways, he was convinced to listen to the Rebbe, and it so happened that that plane was hijacked. Did the Rebbe know that the plane will be hijacked? I don't know. But Lav Davke, he knew. When the Rebbe gave dimes to children before Yom Kippur War, he said, Nisnaba, v'leyoda ma nisnaba. I guess I didn't know. But he gave. This was after Yom Kippur War. So this is the answer to those Bachrin that say that the Rebbe knows exactly. According to the way I see, I maybe not. Now I want to tell you something, a story that I heard from Rabbi Mindel. You know, Rabbi Mindel came in to take dictation of most of the letters, all the Michtavim Klolim, is Rabbi Mindel's Lashon. A lot of Hebrew letters and all English letters. So he took shorthand, he knew shorthand. He went into the Rebbe. The Rebbe opened up every single letter. The Rebbe didn't let anybody open letters. Every letter was opened by the Rebbe. You know, time it takes thousands of minutes. The Rebbe opens up a letter, and he reads it, then he says to Rabbi Mindel, you read it. So he read it, and he was ready to give back the Rebbe. The Rebbe took it, the Rebbe smiled and says, Nu, was sagst du of them? What do you say about this? He didn't answer. Then the Rebbe says, he smiled, Nu, you know, Rabbi Mindel, he's done a cheres for the Rebbe, he knows, I mean, he's not going to answer. The Rebbe asks him, what should he say? The Rebbe is here. By the way, this reminds me once, I remember that Rabbi Pekarsky, who was the Rosh Yeshiva of 770, was a big Gaon. He married off his Einikol, and they were studying after the chuppah near the Rebbe's room. The Rebbe came out from Ma'ariv. So the Rebbe gave dollars to him. The Rebbe was about to give $1 to the chosn. So the Rebbe turned to Rabbi Pekarsky and said to him, "Can a hedyet make a melech a shliach?" The dollar is shlichus. The Rebbe gives $1, you should give tzedakah. So the Rebbe is making a king a shliach. The Rebbe calls himself a hedyet and is making a king. So that's his question, and he was holding the $1. And the Rebbe did not, and Rabbi Pekarsky didn't answer. First of all, the Rebbe calls himself a hedyet. What should he answer? He didn't answer. Sometimes you don't answer. So anyways, so Rabbi Mindel here did not answer. So the Rebbe says to Rabbi Mindel, this person wrote to me before that he went out with a girl, for shidduch, and he did not have Hamshachas Halev. So he asked me if I should go out. So I said, yeah. So he went out again. Then he went out again, and again he wrote, he doesn't have Hamshachas Halev, and he went out again. and 3 times. And I said, he can go out. The Rebbe did not tell him to get married. He went out. And now he writes to me, and he got married. Probably the Rebbe said he got married because I told him to go out. Now he writes to me that he's getting divorced. So he's having tightness. He complains on me. Why? So the Rebbe smiles and says to Rabbi Midel, what did you say? Of course he doesn't say. Then the Rebbe says, the Tzemach Tzedek, I don't know who it was, had Einikol. The Tzemach Tzedek was Mesadik Dushin. The Tzemach Tzedek gave brachas. And afterwards, they divorced. After 3 months, I think. So the Mechutni came to the Tzemach Tzedek and said, Rebbe, you were Mesadik Dushin. You gave brachas. They divorced. So the Tzemach Tzedek answered, Petach. Petach means full. In Yiddish, Rabbi Mindel told me, das was steht, Meishiv Chachamim Acher V'daitom Akosalen geht auf uns. Das geht auf Emes Chachamim. If was fragst du? This was the Lashon. In other words, this was by Yechanan ben Zakkai in the time of the Churban Beis Hamikdash. The Romans asked him, tell me what you want and we'll do anything you want. So he asked for Yavne v'Chachameo. He asked for the Chacham of Yavne, the show, whatever. He could have asked that the Romans shouldn't destroy the Beis Hamikdash, and we wouldn't have a Churban, but he didn't. Why? Because Meishiv Chachamim Acher. Sometimes the answer Chachamim comes from the back, and they died to Makasali. The Gemara says they're crooked. Anyway, stop over here. This is what happened. We don't understand. Now, I want to continue this. I happen to know who this couple was. 2 years later, they got married again, Machzor Grishosai, and they have children, and they live in Eretz Yisrael, and Baruch Hashem. Why this happened this way? I don't know. I had to go through that he had to have the mitzvah of Machzor Grishosai. I don't know. But if a Rebbe says something, or the way the Rebbe does, it's not, we don't understand the Rebbe, whether the Rebbe knows or he doesn't know, or how the Rebbe, we're not Rabbeim. So this is what I wanted to mention after the listening to the lecture of this lecture. In Mitzvah Hashem, next week we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.